I'm Mark Bell, and you're not. Feel bad for y'all. I've been doing this shit for a long time. I started lifting when I was about 12 years old, when some asshole punted my football, my favorite football, into the woods, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I wanted to build myself up, and my brother Chris was born with kind of bad hips and bad knees, and he was sent to a chiropractor. The chiropractor said, the only remedy for this is to be stronger. The only way you're going to be out of pain is to be stronger. So my brother went from squatting a broomstick to squatting 675 pounds as a teenager. And obviously I saw that, and I looked up to my older brother. I had two older brothers growing up. I looked up to both of them, and just started to get into weightlifting in my basement. My dad somehow, I don't know how he knew what to get or what to purchase, but instead of like some Sears thing, you know, that was cement weights or whatever, he knew to get Olympic weights, and we had a squat rack in my garage when I was a kid, and that's how I got started. I remember it like it was yesterday, bench pressing with my cousin, and my cousin was about 3-4 years older than me, and my brother Chris, they call me Smelly, it's a nickname, had it for since I was a kid. They realized it bothered me, so they made sure it stuck. And I was lifting with my cousin one day, and you know, he said, my brother told him, hey, Smelly benches 205. My cousin's like, yeah, you're full of shit, there's no way he does that. He's only like 12 or 13 or however old I was at the time. My brother's like, I can prove it to you right now, we'll load up the weight. So my brother started loading up the weight. My brother was always very careful with me when I was lifting because he wasn't sure what I was capable of. I wasn't sure what I was capable of. And he always just had me train. He always had me training rather than like testing my strength. I never did a 1 rep max before. There's always sets of 5 and sets of 8 and stuff like that. So we start to go up in weight. I do 185 pounds, and my cousin tries 185 pounds and he misses it. Then I do 195 pounds. My brother just keeps upping the weight 10 pounds each time. I end up doing 240 pounds that day. And my cousin's like, I don't know what that's gonna amount to, but that's gonna turn into something. He's like, you're gonna be able to use that for something. And so here I am today, talking in front of all you guys about strength training, about getting stronger, about powerlifting. That's what it's turned into for me. Powerlifting has changed my life forever. It's changed me inside and out. As a kid, I was very shy. For me to get up in front of people and talk was 100% out of the question. For me to, be vocal in front of people, period, was out of the question. And even when people said something to me, I always just let it slide off my back rather than do anything about it. Not confrontational at all. But now, when somebody says something to me, or when somebody doubts me, I use it as fuel. I use it as fuel in the gym, and I use it as ammo. And now I feel like I have an entire army behind me because I have so much ammo over the years of people telling me that I can't do this and I can't do that. The slingshot is a dumb idea. It's a bad invention. It'll never go anywhere. It'll never make any money. It doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody want to use that? People's shoulders are fine when they're bench pressing. These are all the things I heard initially to try to get the slingshot started. Even with the gym, opening up a gym, that's another bad idea. People don't want to power lift. You're not going to make any money on that. The gym's free, but yet I'm rich. I'm very wealthy. Proving people wrong is something I like doing on a daily basis. Somebody says I can't do something, I like to prove them wrong. I like to shove it back in their face. And it's just motivation for me. My wife and I started a magazine, Power Magazine. Print is dead. What are you doing? That's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to lose money on it. I don't fucking care. I want to make a magazine about powerlifting because it's a sport that I love to do. So try not to take any bullshit from anybody. When you're faced with somebody telling you, when you're faced with somebody telling you something that you disagree with, Next time you hear it, tell them flat out, I disagree. We all possess the ability to get better. We all possess the ability to get stronger. And there's no reason why you can't work towards it every day. Sometimes it seems like we're buried under an avalanche of shit to be able just to try to get our head above water. There's so much negativity. Get around positive people. Get around like-minded people. Get around people that will lift you up. Get around people that you don't always have to lift up yourself. And you will find that things will get easier. It's not hard to get better every day if you can focus and if you can pay attention and if you can stop listening to the noise and stop listening to all the bullshit and hatred that can be out there. I don't want to turn this negative, but there is a lot of that out there. You have to look on the brighter side of things. You have to keep moving forward. You have to continue to move forward no matter what. You got to keep chugging your legs along, and you got to keep running, and you got to keep hustling. And you can't get hung up in the small things. Somebody makes a negative comment about you online. You cannot get caught up in these things. You think The Rock gives a flying shit about somebody making a negative comment online? Probably not, right? You guys got to kind of treat yourselves the same way. And in your mission and in your journey for strength, you got to treat yourselves like a professional. And think about how would a professional react to that? They probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't react at all, right? You got to treat yourself like a professional when it comes to strength training. It's fun to get good at something. As I mentioned earlier, it's not that hard to get better at it. But if you want to be great and you really want to embrace this journey, then you have to take it more seriously. You have to take it not just inside the gym. You can't just be training 2 hours a day, an hour a day. It's not enough. Sorry, it's not enough. I'm not going to sell you on a 45-minute program that you do twice a week because it doesn't work. You need more. You need to embrace this more. You have to embrace it with every piece of food that you eat. You have to embrace it before you go to bed. You have to embrace it when you wake up. You don't have to be a meathead, and fitness doesn't have to be the only thing in your life. I have a lot of other things in my life. I got kids, I got a wife, I got a lot of other great things going on. But you have to embrace the entire journey if you want to be great at this. It takes a long time, it takes a great effort, but you can do it. There's not one person in this room, and there's not one person that I've ever met that does not possess the ability to get better. They don't possess the ability to learn more. There's never been a person that I met either that has said, I would like to know a lot less. I would love to be a lot weaker. Man, I wish when I got into that fight, I got my ass kicked a little bit more. I would like to have less money. There's always room for improvement. And we all, every single person in this room, you might think I'm something, you might think some of these people are something, but you are something too, and you can turn yourself into something. It's just gonna take time. You gotta chip away each and every day. Strength is never a weakness. We're gonna take a little break. I'm Mark Bell, and thank you for listening.